Boys and girls, what is going on? Welcome to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo. And today, we're doing a really kind of random-ish late night stream out of nowhere. You know, I had some things that I wanted to talk about. I had some things that I wanted to share with you all. And, you know, let's do a short little stream. Let's hang out. Let's have some fun. A couple of cool, interesting pieces of news, right, that we can talk about. I guess the first biggest piece of news, and I've made a couple of videos on this, but I'd love to get the chat's thoughts specifically and directly about these topics. I think the first and the primary one is going to have to be, obviously, the biggest story embroiling Jets, Twitter and YouTube, and just Jets conversation as a whole, and that's the Quinnen Williams situation. And I usually don't get to comments this quickly, because I like doing my intro monologue. But Zach Berner sums up exactly the way that I'm feeling about this whole situation. It's May 16th. I'm not worried about it. And I mean, I'm not worried about it at all. If a team and a player like Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens can get to a point to where not only were they close on number, he requested a trade, they fielded calls on him, if even they were able to get to a place in the middle, I have zero worries that the New York Jets are going to be able to do the same thing, because I think that they will be. I think it's really easy, and I think it's really simple in the sense of, like, they're going to get something done. So I'm not worried about that. The one real concern that comes down to that I don't think enough people are talking about, and I think they use this as a negative towards Quinnen Williams, and I think it's actually the other way around. I think it's a positive for Quinnen Williams, and if you're his agent, and that's the conversation around snap count. If we look at the New York Jets, snap percentages and what Quinnen Williams plays, he plays around 65-ish% of the snaps on defense, and that's great because that lets us get really, really fresh Quinnen Williams on downs and on distances that we really need him, and on 1st and 10 where, you know, you don't necessarily need Quinnen. You don't need to use him. Or on 3rd and 19. He doesn't need to be out there on 3rd and 19, you know? That being said, the one thing that we have to take into consideration is the fact that even though Quinnen Williams has much fewer snaps than all of the other defensive tackles that were taken in his draft class that are all getting big paydays or that are around the same age and draft pedigree as him that just recently got paid, none of them, and I mean none of them, reach the sack totals, the pressure totals, anything like that, and they all clear Quinnen Williams. And I mean every single one of them clear Quinnen Williams in terms of snap percentages and total snaps played. So that is telling us that when Quinnen Williams is playing, he is dominant, and so the argument could be said that he could be more dominant when and if he's used higher. I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. But Zachary said it perfectly. I'm not worried. It's May 16th. We've got more than enough time. We don't have any mandatory mini camps. We don't got anything coming anytime soon that really makes me concerned and anything when it comes to the New York Jets and Quinnen Williams. Next thing that I wanted to talk about really, really quickly is the Bryce Huff situation. Now, again, I made a video talking about Bryce Huff and the contract situation and the trade situation, and should the New York Jets be looking at possibly trading Bryce Huff? And the easy answer comes down to this. Look, the New York Jets should not be actively trying to trade Bryce Huff. That is not a thing that the New York Jets should be doing. But, and this is a big but the reality is that he is not this immovable player. Bryce Huff's role has become redundant a little bit, especially when you take into consideration that Bryce Huff's skill set, everything that he's shown us on tape, and in college too, has shown us that he is not a player that can play the running downs. That is not what his skill set is. And when you add a guy like Will McDonald, who not only arguably could be just as good in those pass rushing sets as Bryce Huff, but also is a positive in the run game more than what Bryce Huff is. He's strong and he's long and he can do those things in the run game if need be. You have to at least entertain the conversation. Now, the realistic reason why he won't get traded is because the minimum I'm trading him away for is a second-round pick. And, like, you would have to give me a pretty big second-round pick if that happened. You know, like, and I'm talking, like, somewhere in the middle of the second round is where I would want to go, because I'm not sending Bryce Huff to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not sending Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers. So you'd have to give me a pretty middling pick for that to happen. I would have to send him to a team that I'm not worried about. But ultimately, we don't have to trade Huff. Having him on this team is better for this team than not having him. So you would have to try to steal him away. You would have to give me an offer that I cannot refuse. And we're going to start with a great super chat. Thank you, Small Heath Jet Patrol, for the super chat. Guys, super chats, skip the line if you want to do that. And remember, at 15 members, we're going to be giving away a t-shirt, jersey of any of the New York Jets players that we drafted in this year's draft class. It costs less than a cup of coffee a month, and it's in the description and in the button below. Hit the join button to find out more, and we're going to be doing a lot of things. If the Jets make the Super Bowl, you going? I wish, my guy. I have a kid. I am a full-time student. I am unemployed, and I have a second kid on the way, and he's due soon. There is no way that I'm making the Super Bowl. The fact that I'm going to be able to go to the game, I'm going to the home opener, you know, like that's happening. For sure that's happening. But the reality is that Super Bowls are like, what's that ticket for the Super Bowl? Like $9K, $10K for a ticket to the Super Bowl? It ain't going to happen, man. It ain't going to happen. I'll be watching. I'll be hosting the Super Bowl party and all that, but I ain't going to the Super Bowl. That's a lot of money. Let's say hi to some people in the chat. Xavier Garcia, Tiga stream caught me by surprise. Yeah, man, just decided, whatever. Let's go live. Green Bean's not on. You know, it's late. Why not? Let's go after the Jets the Talking Jets panel. Zachary Bernard, did you see someone said the Dolphins cornerbacks are better than the Jets cornerbacks? Jets are better. Oh, by far. And Hank has it here perfectly. That was clearly to generate clicks from irate Jets fans. No way Miami's quarterbacks are better. And the reality is, like, let's just go cornerback for cornerback, right? Cornerback for cornerback on the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins when you look at their cornerback list. Jalen Ramsey versus Sauce Gardner. Who are you taking? The easy answer is Sauce Gardner. He was the best cornerback in football last year. He's infinitely younger than Jalen Ramsey is, and he's not switching systems with a whole new defensive coordinator and all of that stuff in a new city. So who's more likely to see the same level of success? Because I'm not going to try to take anything away from Jalen Ramsey. He did a lot of really good things last year, right? And he was probably a top 10, top 5 cornerback in the league last year. But Sauce Gardner was the number 1 cornerback in the league last year, according to a lot of measurable statistics. PFF had him ranked number 1 in the NFL. So take that with what you had. Now let's go to Xavier Howard and DJ Reed. Well, the NFL is a what have you done for me recently league. And DJ Reed played like a top 15 cornerback in the NFL last year, while Xavier Howard did not play like a starting caliber cornerback last year. According to PFF, I believe, I'm going to have to pull this up. Give me 6 seconds. According to PFF, Xavier Howard was listed as the 79th ranked cornerback amongst 118 qualified cornerbacks. Dude was not a legitimate player last year. And he's also learning a new system, and he's got a new teammate that has bumped him down the play locker. the depth chart, sorry. So, boom, I'm taking DJ Reed over Xavier Howard every day of the week. Now, Kader Kohou or however you pronounce him was actually a really interesting find for the Miami Dolphins as their slot cornerback. And he played pretty good for them. And according to PFF, he ranked as the 36th cornerback amongst all cornerbacks. So again, that's really good when you look at that. But Michael Carter II ranked 18th. And I would take Michael Carter II over Kader Kohou. And then they've got Cam Smith and Nick Needham. I would take Brandon Echols and Bryce Hall. Brandon Echols and Bryce Hall both have starting level play already at the NFL level. Brandon Echols, in my opinion, is what I think the New York Jets are hoping is going to be DJ Reed's heir apparent when DJ Reed does move on from this team. And I think that they hope that it's going to be Brandon Echols and Sauce Gardner on the outside with Michael Carter in the slot for a long time. That's how I look at it. And then Bryce Hall, again, Bryce Hall is a cornerback too on like 16 or 17 teams in the NFL. I think he's good enough to do that. So you're absolutely right. It's a crap of a list. It's a crap of a situation. It was just to get people upset. Javelin Guidry is back. Good guy, but small. The good thing is that he's a slot corner. And the New York Jets, when you look at our cornerback room and our safety room, the one real true position that we don't really have in those rooms is a backup slot corner. Now, a lot of people have Tony Adams in that spot and playing that backup slot corner because I believe he absolutely can do that role. But Javelin Guidry has like Olympic speed, and as a backup slot corner, that's a really, really good option there. It's just bringing in more competition for that defensive back room, making the decision on what ultimately, I believe it's going to be 10 players that the New York Jets are going to keep in the DB room. What 10 guys are the Jets going to keep? It's going to make that decision really, really hard. But I'm happy that he's back. K Yeti, welcome back. Or welcome to the show that we went live because you asked. It's not even a lie. Give me Atlanta's first round pick next year, then maybe I'd trade Huff. Again, if anybody, I would take any first. Literally any team. If you want a first for Bryce Huff, yeah, I don't care who it is. As long as it's not like the Chiefs, the Eagles, or the Bills. Or Miami, right? But any one of those, outside of those four teams, yeah. First round pick for Bryce Huff, easy breezy. Easy breezy. I was an undrafted free agent. Easy breezy. I agree, Huff stays. Teams are already trying to weaken this team. Go call some other teams for their guys. Again, you have to listen to the conversation. As of right now, he is, in my book, edge 6. Right? Now, he is so solidified as edge 6 that he's not going to go anywhere at all, kind of a thing. But I kind of like Michael Clemens more than I like Bryce Huff because I see more versatility in Michael Clemens' game with his size and his strength that he plays with, where Bryce Huff is exclusively a guy who's only coming in on third downs. Michael Clemens can bump inside, can play outside. He plays on specials. Do you guys remember the blocked punt that led to the touchdown? That was Michael Clemens. So, he provides more versatility. I'm obviously higher on Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald than I am on Bryce Huff because I think both of those guys are better players than Bryce Huff. And then Jonathan Franklin Myers and Carl Lawson, those are our starting edges. So, I think he's very easily edge 6. Now, the real thing is that he shouldn't be an edge 6. On most teams, he's probably edge 4, edge 3 on a lot of teams. That being said, I don't want him going anywhere. You would have to blow me away with an offer. Harrison, what's going on, man? You find me that Aaron Rodgers 12 jersey yet? I'm kidding, man. Tigo, 11-6. I'd hope so. I think at minimum, we're a 10-win team. At maximum, we're a 14-win team. I'd like us to be somewhere in the middle. I think the thing that's going to dictate how well this team is going to do is going to be that first 6 games of the NFL season. Obviously, that's the gauntlet that we go through. And I can put pretty confidently 2 wins, in those first 6 games. But the other 4 games are going to be wars. Can we beat Kansas City? Absolutely. We've got the roster and the players to do it. But it's easier said than done, right? Like beating Kansas City is one of the hardest things to do in football. That's why they were Super Bowl champions, and that's a big deal. The Philadelphia Eagles are another one of those teams where it's just like, dude, like they just went to the Super Bowl. They are arguably the best roster in football. In my opinion, they're the best roster in football. That's going to be a hard team to beat. Can we beat them? Absolutely. Can we go toe for toe with them? Absolutely. But that's a really daunting challenge. And then, you have those conversations and those teams. The Bills. Can we beat the Bills? Yeah, we almost did it twice last year. We did it once with Zach Wilson. But can't sleep on the Bills. We do have mismatches and things that we're going for. But in my opinion, if you're looking at the situation and if you're looking at, the schedule, 11-6 is right around that area where I would like the team to be. I would like to be pushing for more wins. I think that not only should the New York Jets really be in conversation to compete with the AFC East as the lead, I think it's our division to lose, if I'm being honest, when it comes to this. Because I think that we are better than the Buffalo Bills just as a whole roster, top down, from offensive coordinator, defensive player, like personnel, offensive player personnel, like as a whole, not just like Stephon Diggs is better than Garrett Wilson. But like I also think that Allen Lazard and Corey Davis are better than Gabe Davis, and I can't even tell you who their second or who their third wide receiver is. So again, there's a lot of conversations there, and so as long as and Small Heath Jet Patrol says it perfectly, as long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, 10 wins is the minimum. He's absolutely right. So there you go. I'm not saying trade Chrono, Kenny. I'm saying teams have called on Bryce Huff because we drafted Will McDonald. And if a good GM will listen, When is Hard Knock going to be announced? Is it our Jets or not? The wait is killing me. I don't really care about the Hard Knocks announcement. If I'm being honest, if we get it, cool. I'd prefer not to get it, but like the reality is we're going to get it. It's the most interesting story. Any word on the number and quality of compensatory picks we'll get in the next draft, if any? We don't know yet, but I think that the calculator has the New York Jets getting 3 picks because I believe the 3 picks are going to go to, I think it's going to go Sheldon Rankins, Nathan Shepard, and I think Nate Herbig. I think those are I think it was Mike White. I don't remember. I think there's like 3 players that qualified for our compensatory pick model because we have to remember we brought in Allen Lazard, so that cancels out somebody. Oh, man, I forget. I forget what it is. Oh. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, so it's 3 picks as of right now. So it's 1 6th-round pick and 2 7th-round pick. And that's because we lost Dan Feeney, Nate Herbig, Sheldon Rankins, Nathan Shepard, and Mike White. And we only brought in McCole Hardman and Allen Lazard in terms of players that play towards the compensatory pick model. So the losses of Rankins and Shepard would be canceled out in the formula by the additions of Lazard and Hardman, but the Jets still had 3 other departures that should result in a 6th-rounder for Herbig and then 2 7th-rounders for Feeney and White. But it ultimately comes down to Mike White and Herbig will definitely get us picks, but Dan Feeney might. Remember that there is a play, how much a player plays aspect to it. So if Dan Feeney does not meet the threshold of games played for Miami, he would not account for a 7th-round pick. But as of right now, if everything went perfectly, we would get a 6th-round pick and a 7th-round pick. There you go. Jake Asman has a place you can get a jersey if you want. Oh, Zachary, no, it was a joke. So I told Harrison back when we were doing all the things, and it's not really a joke because I kind of would like one. I told him that like as he goes around, Wisconsin, and he's doing his things, if he finds an Aaron Rodgers jersey in a thrift shop or something like that, now that he's gone, and some people might be upset, to let me know because I want one because I'm trying to collect a jersey from all 32 teams because I'm trying to expand my channel a little bit later in the year. We're working on an NFL with Tigo channel so that I can talk not just Jets, because I love the Jets, and this is going to be my main channel for a long time, but I like talking just football in general. So that's what that's about. So it's kind of like a joke between me and Harrison. So there's that. Long as Rodgers is healthy, yep. I think the Broncos might surprise some people next year. I don't think so. Sean Payton is not good. Like the thing is the turnaround. It's not a Sean Payton thing. It's a Russell Wilson thing. And I have zero faith in Russell Wilson. And that's the reality of it. And so Sean Payton is a great head coach. Anybody should want Sean Payton, realistically speaking. But when we look at the Denver Broncos, they've got a lot more problems outside of just the quarterback. And in that division, they can find themselves in the hole really, 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 really quickly. Really, really quickly. So they've got a brand new whole offensive line unit. We don't know what that offensive line unit's going to look like. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, what are they going to look like in this new offense? There's a lot of things going on there, and I'm not trying to sit here and doubt, the Broncos. The Broncos can be competitive, but I'm not banking on it. Patrick Surtain, though, is the second best corner in football, and that does help when you've got a guy that's that good, right? And then Justin Simmons is really good, too. Is he still, though? I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to be wrong on Denver. That'd be cool. But only after they play the Jets. I'm done buying jerseys. I have my sauce. That will be good for 20 years. My sauce is right back there. My sauce jersey. I keep it on the couch in case I need it for a big video or something like that. But yeah, no, I'm a jersey guy. I do it. I've got a Zach Wilson jersey. I've got a Geno Smith jersey. I've got a Sauce jersey. My Aaron Rodgers jersey is coming in whenever that happens, whenever they ship. I order it the day he announced his number that he was playing 8. I'm a jersey guy. If I'm being honest, I'm a jersey guy. I've got a Kenny Pickett t-shirt jersey because I lost a bet in last year's drafts because I didn't like Kenny Pickett. I didn't have a first-round grade on Kenny Pickett, and he went in the first round to the Steelers, which was the guy I made the bet. He's a Steelers fan. So I have a Kenny Pickett Steelers t-shirt jersey. So, yeah. Hey, man, I'll be in Green Bay this summer and be making get you a jersey. Dude, let me know. I will send you the money. That is not a joke. DM me on Twitter, and, I will send it to you. Kind of scary for Tua that Miami trusts Feeney with his protection. I don't think Feeney is slated as a starter. I think they're just brought in because he's a backup, right? He's not a starter, is he? Yeah, no. Dan Feeney's not listed as a starter. It's Teron Armstead on the left, Liam Eichenberg, Jesus Christ, that's bad, at the left guard, Connor Williams, which is actually pretty good, at center, and then Hunt at right guard, and then Austin Jackson at right tackle is who's listed as their guys right now. The real conversation is health. They have also had a hard time staying healthy on the offensive line. And so, yeah. Hagen, I'm a medium. Get a Revis Pats jersey. That'd be a good one. Be an old jersey to find, though. The Miami Jets, crazy they love leftovers. Look, it makes a lot of sense. If they were going to poach anybody, if they were going to poach any team to bring in, the New York Jets make a ton of sense. One, because you're directly affecting a divisional rival, but two, the playbook. Remember that, their head coach, McDaniels, that's his name, was the run game coordinator to Mike LaFleur's pass game coordinator in San Francisco. So, of course, the guys are going to try to poach from the teams there. So it makes a ton of sense. For them. T goes the man, hit the like button. Thank you, Barney. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Didn't ask for that. Harlan in the house. I'm 60 years old. I'm not Jersey fan. Look at old NFL fans from the 50s through the 70s. A knit hat on occasions, but the players wore the jerseys, not the fans. Not judging, just pointing it out. Look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, you're absolutely, like, you make a lot of sense here. And I get that sentimentality too. Like, I love my hoodies and my, my Jets hats. My Jets hat is my go-to hat, and all of that stuff. But, like, there is something about game day being in a jersey for me. And I think it comes more from me missing playing sports more than anything like that. Like, there's something about putting a jersey on that makes you feel different, makes you feel, I believe at least, more connected to the team. And that's something that I like. We don't have the same playbook now, though. No, we have an insanely similar one. The same playbook? No. But, like, they run a West Coast wide zone running scheme system, and we just run a true West Coast system now. We got rid of the wide zone run exclusivity. Nathaniel Hackett likes to run a true West Coast system, but we're going to see gap runs, power runs, wide zone, inside zone. We're going to see more asked out of our offensive line than just the wide zone stuff, but we're going to live a good amount of what we do on the offensive line, specifically in the run game and in the blocking scheme, in that wide zone blocking system. So again, it's very similar, very, very similar. They're a run. They are a team that wants to be a run first, West Coast wide zone run scheme. We are a run first West Coast system. So absolutely makes sense why they would poach us. Now that the Maple Leafs are out, unfortunately, who do you think will win the Stanley Cup? I'm rooting for Florida, man. If they knocked us out, I'd like us to be knocked out by the eventual Stanley Cup champs. That would be nice. But being here in Florida, Florida's always been my second team. In order it always goes. The Maple Leafs, the Panthers, and then the Rangers. And I've always had and liked the Florida Panthers. I love the Tkachuk trade and all those things. I have a Tkachuk jersey, Again, I'm a Florida Panthers guy. Like, I like the Florida Panthers. I was just rooting against them because they happen to be playing against the Leafs. But now that the Panthers have moved on, I'm hoping that they can bring it home. Pennington went to the Finns when we got Favre, came back and knocked us out of the playoffs. Mike White redo? No, because Pennington, I believe we moved on from Pennington too early. We gave up on Pennington too early. And Mike White would have to stay healthy for him to do something like that. And he's not going to see the field, right? And the other thing is, I think in 7 starts, he's got 12 interceptions. Like, one of the things that I never understood were the Mike White truthers. Was he a good backup? Yes. Was he better than Zach at certain points? Yes. And not better than Zach in terms of ability, just better than Zach because he could hit the 5-yard out route. And we had playmakers on this team for the first time in a long time that we were giving credit to the quarterback where the credit should have been going to the wide receivers and the running backs. And a lot of people don't realize that. Now is going to be different because not only do we have playmakers on the outside and in the backfield and all of that stuff, we also have a playmaker under center. So that the rewards of what's happening for that team should go everywhere. So there you go. There will be a lot of eyes on our Jets this year. I don't know about you guys, but we have to make the playoffs. The media will be unbearable if we don't. I think, yeah, you're 100% right. Party Miller, I'm just jealous because I can't afford a jersey. Dude, neither can I. Thankfully, the wonderful folk here at YouTube and guys and gals who watch my YouTube videos and hit the like button and subscribe and do all of that stuff, it really does help the channel. And I was blessed to be able to order my Aaron Rodgers jersey with YouTube money. And I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, barely anything at all. But it was enough to cover the jersey, and I'm really like, that was really cool. So, yeah, that was awesome, guys. If you're here and you haven't hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? 50% of my viewers aren't subscribers, so hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. So do that to help me out. I'm trying to hit 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. How long do you think Tua will last this season? Let me look at Miami's. Let me look at Miami's schedule. Week 4. No, wrong. Nope. Sorry. I got to find the first big edge rusher that they face that's like going to come and take their head off. Week. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Week 7, the Eagles knock him out. Probably. I hope he plays all 17 games, but the Eagles got an insanely good pass rusher, and Miami does not have a good offensive line. If there's any game where he gets hurt, that's the game he gets hurt, unfortunately. The biggest Jet fan in my friend group, and everyone else is more excited to go to games than me. Lol, feels weird. Right? I got people texting me about the Jets, man. Like my dad asking about the Jets because he was the one who got me into football, but then he stopped watching because they've been bad for so long. 13-4 is my guess. We split the Fins and the Bills and lose to the Chiefs and Eagles. Interesting. Who's your favorite backup Jets player? Like in the sense of like backup Jets quarterback or like just backup player like at a role on the team ever kind of a thing? Or is it like a current backup? Let me answer all of those things, right? My favorite backup Jets quarterback was probably Teddy Bridgewater. I really wanted us to keep Teddy Bridgewater around. I really wanted us to keep Teddy Bridgewater around. I was always a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. And then if we're looking at like all-time backup, can you count Chris Ivory when he was playing as like not the number one back? I always had a big crush on Chris Ivory. He was a starter for a couple years and then he kind of lost his job as the starter because like the dude got old. And I was just like, I still love Chris Ivory. And then this year, my favorite backup is definitely Brandon Echols. Or like, again, it's probably Israel Abanikanda, actually, if we're being honest. Because I love Izzy. I think he's the best backup. And the only reason I didn't say him first is because I think he's going to be the starter week 1 because I don't think Breece Hall is going to be ready week 1. And I don't think the Jets should rush him back before that. I would like to see Bryce Hall be put on the IR at the beginning of the year so that he's forced to miss the first 4 weeks. But it's probably Brandon Echols. I really like Brandon Echols. I have really high hopes for Brandon Echols. And yeah, it's probably that because I don't consider any of the defensive linemen as backups. They're all rotational guys. Not a big fan of any of the linebackers or the guys on the offense. It's probably Brandon Echols or Tristan Colon. Those are the guys that I'd be big fan of. It's probably be it. It's a good question, though. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Ty Johnson was a good one for me, too. Anyone know what happened to him? Water ski accident or something? Outside of the fact that he was listed with a non-football-related injury, I have no idea what happened. Think 13 wins would give us the 1 seed? Well, let's go through this. Let's go through this experiment, right? They updated it. Football, NFL. NFL 2023 regular season. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this together. Brace yourself. I'm going to move this over here. Move this over here. Let me pull up the stream to make sure that you guys can see. Let's zoom in. Can you guys see everything? Obviously, you're not going to be able to see the NFC on this side, but I don't really care about the NFC. So we're going to go through my predictions, and then you guys just let me know what happens. We're going to go week by week. This is a fun experiment. We're going to go week by week, picking the wins, who I think is going to win, who I think is going to lose. We'll do this closer to the season, and it'll be a whole video. Jags over Bengals, Browns, Raiders, Chargers, Jets, Kansas City, San Francisco, Saints, Eagles, Commies, Falcons, Vikings, Green Bay, Seattle, Cowgirls. There you go. There's week 1. Week 2, you go Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Los Angeles, Indianapolis, Miami, Pittsburgh, Jets, Denver, Philly, Tampa, Green Bay, Seattle, San Fran, New York, New Orleans. There's week 2. New York Jets lead the division still 2-0. Then you go Browns, Jags, Baltimore, Miami, Jets, Steelers, Bills, Mini, KC, Cincinnati, San Fran, Detroit, Green Bay. No, it's probably New Orleans because of their defense and Jordan Love. Seattle, Cowgirls, Philly, next, Bills, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincy, LA. I'll give this to Kansas City. I think Kansas City probably beats the Jets, unfortunately. Jags, Colts, no, the Rams, the Broncos, the Cowgirls, the Lions, the Vikings, the Eagles, the Saints, San Fran, and then New York. Now, the Jets are the number 3 seed in the AFC because they're 3-1. There's what is going on right now. There you go. Bills, Titans, Steelers, Jets, Giants. Ooh, no, Fins because it's at home. Falcons, Patriots, Cincy, Kansas City. Has Kansas City not lost a game yet? Jesus Christ, they haven't lost a game yet. I'll give it to Vegas. Washington. No, I believe in Sam Howell, so I'm giving them the win there. The Lions, the Eagles, and then San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco and Kansas City undefeated through 5 weeks. 5 weeks right there. Kansas City, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Vegas, Miami. Ooh, the Hawks with rest. I'm going to give that to the Hawks. San Francisco, the Saints. I'll give it to the Eagles, the Bills. The Chargers with rest. I'm giving that to the Chargers. I'll give this to the Falcons. The Bucks with rest. I'll give it there. Mini. And then, the 2 crap bag teams, Arizona or Los Angeles. Who wins this? The Los Angeles Rams win it. Then the Bills over the Patriots. This is the Jets on a bye week, so this is nice. I'll give it to the Brownies. The Brownies need to win some games, right? Kansas City over the Chargers. The Jags over the Saints. Baltimore over the Lions. The Bears over the Raiders. With rest. The Eagles. The Falcons. Giants. Seattle. San Francisco. There we go. The Chiefs in San Francisco, and this is me just going really, really quickly here, are 7-0. This is insane. What is happening? The Jags, the Fins, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Panthers, the Jets with rest over the Giants at home. Easy breezy. Saints, the Titans with rest, Seattle, Baltimore over Arizona. Ooh, Cincinnati with rest, but in San Francisco. Cincinnati. That was a hard one. San Francisco's first loss. The Chargers, and then the Lions, and then Eagles, the Vikings, and then the Cowgirls. Week 8. Let's go. Week 9. Let's keep this going. Steelers over Titans, Kansas City over the Finns, the Bengals over the Bills, the Jets over the Chargers. This is going to be a fun game, though. This is going to be really, really fun game. I understand. I know what I'm saying with the Sam Darnold and the 49ers. I know, guys. I'm a Sam Darnold truther. Sam Darnold truther here. Patriots probably beat the Commies. Browns probably beat the Birds. The Purple Birds probably beat the Bluebirds. The Pirates probably beat the Cows. The Horseshoes. Ooh. This is a game that the big kitties can win. And then the Giants over the Raiders. The Vikings, Saints, the Green Bays, and the Eagles. Jesus, the Eagles 9-0, the Chiefs 9-0. San Fran with rest over that's easy. That's easy. Ooh, that's difficult. I'm going to give this one to the Patriots. Jets over the Raiders, Bills over the Broncos, Tennessee over the Bucks, Green Bay over the Steelers. The Lions over the Chargers. They're with rest. The Bears, Vikings, Falcons, Cowgirls, Seahawks. Week 11, final stretch. Bengals, Finns, Steelers, Jags. Jags are 7-3. Jesus Christ. Buffalo in week 11 versus the Jets. The Jets win this. We almost beat them with Mike White last year if we had an offensive line. We win that easily. Let's give the Texans a win over the Cardinals, right? Because they're not the worst team in football. They're the second worst team in football. The Cardinals are the worst team in football. Chargers over Green Bay. Minnesota over the Broncos. Man, the Broncos are having an abysmal season in my eyes. They're 2-8. Jesus Christ. Sean Payton. Ooh, Super Bowl matchup. I'm going to go to chat for that one. I'm going to let them pick. The Lions over the Bears. The Cowboys over that team. The Giants, the San Frans, and then the Seahawks. Okay, chat, real quick. Quick answer. Philadelphia or Kansas City, they're both coming off a rest. Week 11, Super Bowl rematch. Did the Philadelphia Eagles get their revenge? We will not have an undefeated team past. We will only have one undefeated team past Week 11. Is it the Kansas City Chiefs or is it the Philadelphia Eagles? I got one Eagles payback. I got two Eagles. Come on, chat. I'll give it 30 more seconds. Two for the Eagles. 3 for the Eagles. 4 for the Eagles. And it seems like a landslide. Eagles win it. Another Eagles. A vote for a draw. Eagles win it. We're moving on. Week 12, Jets, Finns. I'm going to take the Jets on Black Friday. Bengals over the Steelers. That's easy. Jags over the Texans. That's easy. Let's give the Broncos a win. The Brownies aren't good. The Chiefs over the Raiders. The Birds over the Lightning McQueens. I'm going to give this to the New England. New England with rest and time to prepare for the Giants. They can do it. I'll give it to the New Englands. The Colts can take one off of Tampa. I don't think Tampa's that good of a team. Titans. Eagles over the Bills. The Lions over Green Bay. Cowgirls. San Francisco, Atlanta, Arizona needs to win a game, and then the Vikings. Week 13, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Bengals, Finns, Steelers, Jets, Brownies, Kansas City, Seahawks, Bucks, Lions, San Francisco. No, that's San Francisco. They're going to beat them. Yeah, they're going to get revenge. They want their revenge game. They're going to get their revenge game. I can't have two undefeated teams going into this part of the season. It's absolutely not going to happen. Steelers over the Patriots, Jags, Jets. If we lose this game, I'm quitting. I'm quitting. Bengals, Kansas City, Chargers, Philly, the Fins. Guys, I'm also assuming health for every team, by the way. Like, every team is just fully healthy for 18 weeks. Okay, easy breezy. Let's do the NFC first. The Birds beat the other Birds. The Commies beat the Rams. The San Frans beat the other Birds. The Giants beat the New Orleanses. The Green Bays beat the Pirates. The Red Stallions beat the... What were the Panthers called again? I don't remember. The Cowboys over the Bills. I'm going to give the Vikings this. There's no way the Bengals are going to be 13-1 at this point in the season. I'm giving the Vikings this win. I think the Vikings are a relatively good team. I'll give the Broncos this one. I'll give the Bears another win here. Kansas City. Jesus, Kansas City has a cake-ass schedule. The other Birds, the Titans. Let's split with Miami. Miami's a good team if they're healthy. I'll give them the Miami home game. We win the Black Friday game. They can win the home game. I'll split with the Fins. Steelers and then the Lightning McQueens. Interesting. Then we go Bungles, Bills, Brownies, Broncos, the Mahomes, the Jets, the Red Stallions, the Birds, the Big Cats, the Cowgirls, the Sam Darnolds, the Saints, the Green Bays, Minnesota, Bears, Philadelphia. And then Jets over the Browns. Easy. That wasn't even a difficult week. Week 18, final week of the season. Jets, Fins. Yes, I'm doing it. It knocks them both out of the playoffs. The Ravens, the Bengals, Colts. No, the Colts are going to lose that last week. The Jaguars. Kansas City would have secured the number 1 seed, so they're going to rest everybody. Yeah. The Raiders, the Bucks, the Cowgirls, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Green Bays, doesn't matter, the Hawks, and San Francisco. And then you'd get into the playoff game. So the New York Jets, we end the season 14-3, 5-1 in the division as the number 3 seed in the AFC because the Bungles went 14-3 as well, and they had the tiebreak games or whatever it is. Oh, they're 6-0 in their division. That's bold by me. Jesus Christ. And then the Kansas City Mahomes are the number 1. And then the Jags beat the Ravens. The Jets beat them. The Bungles beat the... How did the Steelers make the playoffs? Jesus Christ. The Steelers make the playoffs. Then the Birds beat the Saints. The Vikings beat the Cowgirls. The Lions are in the playoffs, and Philly beats them. We go into the next week. Kansas City over the Jags. The Jets beat the Bungles. The Phillies and the San Franciscos, they win their respective AFC Conference Championship. We're running it back. We're getting our revenge in the AFC Championship game. San Francisco beats the Eagles and gets their revenge game. And it's the Super Bowl of Super Bowls, the San Francisco Sam Darnolds versus the New York Jets, and the New York Jets win the Super Bowl. There you go. That's what I'm assuming. And there's the draft order. There's the last 20 minutes that it took us to do that. There you go. New York Jets win the Super Bowl after going 14-3 under the number 3 seed. Hope everybody enjoyed that. No. Boom. Hope everybody enjoyed that. That was fun. Let me pull this back here. Let me catch up in chat because I missed a bunch of stuff. Did I miss any super chats? No super chats missed. That's good. I say Atlanta's the 2nd seed. Nightbot always dropping facts. Boom. Eagles, Chiefs. The Alley Cats, that's a good one. Yeah, Mike White starts over half the season next year. I'm actually happy for him. Probably. Huff is being traded. No, Johnny Jimenez. Teams are calling about Huff. That's what that is. Aaron breaks his thumb in the 2nd quarter, and it's Zach Wilson versus Sam Darnold. No, Aaron would just play with the broken thumb. Like, he's done that before. We just play with the broken thumb. Come on. Don't put that out into the world. That was a fun exercise. Guys, if you ever want to do that for yourself, it's called just NFL Playoff Bracket Predictor on Google. It's the first choice. It's a fun exercise. Me and my friends, we do that every offseason. I'm going to be doing one later on in the season once we get finalized 53-man rosters and we've seen all of the preseason games. It's going to be a fun time. But that's that. I think the schedule works out for the New York Jets really, really well, in my opinion. I'm not that worried about the New York Jets schedule. I enjoy it. I like it. But that's that. Guys, I've been live for an hour. It's an hour longer than I should have been going live for. Aaron Rodgers throws a touchdown to Zach Wilson this year. Book it, Barney. I will buy you a t-shirt jersey if that happens. You can clip this. If Aaron Rodgers at any point in this season, and I'm including the preseason, throws a touchdown pass to Zach Wilson, I will buy you an Aaron Rodgers t-shirt jersey. Book it. I had us losing to the Chiefs, Eagles, and Miami. In Miami. I think Miami's the second team. Super chat from Small Heath Jet Patrol. Thank you so much, my guy. So supportive. I appreciate you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. Well done. Just like I predicted. Yeah, there you go. Great minds think alike. Great minds. Great minds. Guys, boys, girls. Nightbot said it perfectly. If you want to leave a super chat, you can do that. But if you want to get some Talking Jets with Tigo merch, we have some of that available too. In the description of the video, there's some Talking Jets with Tigo merch. Help support the channel. And if at any point in time you buy merch while I am recording or I am live, you get a really, really cool notification coming up on the screen saying, hey, thank you for buying some things. Here is what that looks like. Boom. You're gonna, nope. Hey, there it is. Boom. No, it's this one. There it is. John bought a t-shirt. This is a test merch announcement. So again, if you ever wanted to do anything like that to help support the stream, you absolutely can. That is where you can do it. It is a great way to help the channel out. Really, really greatly appreciate it. It's not required. All I do is ask, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. 50% of you guys aren't subscribed. So guys, help me out. Hit the subscribe button. It's free, and it's really the only thing that I need from you guys to help me out. That's it. Did you talk about how much it would take to sign Q? No, I didn't. I made a whole video talking about Quinnen Williams, and I also put Quan Alexander on the back end of it. It should cost us $25 or $26 million per year over 4 years. That should be the deal that Quinnen Williams gets. It should be $100 million over 4. Like, that's what the deal should be. But if the rumors are true that he's asking for more than that, that's a different kind of conversation. That's a different talking point. Because if he's trying to get Aaron Donald money, he's not Aaron Donald. Like, that's the reality that he has to live in. 25 per year over 4 years, which is 100 total, with, let's say, $68 million guaranteed, is a more than fair contract for what he is worth at the position that he plays. But I think another talking point here is I also think that a sticking point with this contract negotiation is term. I think the New York Jets want a longer deal, 5-6 years, while Quinnen Williams wants something shorter. 2 or 3 years. You got to remember that players are going to start getting more selfish in terms of longevity of their contracts. And the reason for that is because of guys like Kirk Cousins. If you can hit the market more often, and you know that you are an elite player who is going to continue playing at an elite level, and I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins is elite. What I am saying is that there's always going to be a market for a guy like Kirk Cousins. The same thing can be said for a guy like Quinnen Williams. There's always going to be a market for a premier interior defensive lineman who can disrupt the game from the inside through double teams, because that's exactly what he is. So him getting paid $25 million over the next 2 years or 3 years. So let's say it's a $50 million deal over 2 years, or a $75 million deal over 3 years. There's more incentive for him to do that, because he's going to hit the market again. And then he and his agent can go to the New York Jets or whatever new team that he would be playing for and say, hey, I was 5% of the salary cap in 2023. Well, I don't care that the salary cap has gone up. I deserve to be 6% of the salary cap. And if he does that version of an argument, which is what I think that players should start doing, is percentage of the salary cap, not actual dollars, because they would end up getting paid more. And that's what you tend to see in hockey, is what is the percentage of the salary cap, because the salary cap goes up every year and contracts tend to only go up like $1 million-ish. And if you went by percentage, you would get more money. And that's what he should do, because the salary cap is about to explode once the new TV deals come in. So I think that this also might be a sticking point. Quinnen Williams knows that he's an elite player in the NFL, and that teams would be willing to pay him elite money. And the shorter his deal is, the sooner that he'll get back to the market. Look how badly Patrick Mahomes is regretting signing his 10-year contract. If he would have gone the route of signing a 4-year contract or a 5-year contract, he would be up for an extension now, and there would be no argument that anybody on the face of the planet would make that could not justify not giving Patrick Mahomes $50 million a year. He should be the highest paid player in football, hands down. Hands down. So, there you go. Hope that answers it. Playing Super Mario with my boy. Fun times. Forgot how much fun this is. Which Super Mario? So I've got the controller because it's charging. Because I was just playing Super Mario Odyssey the other day. What makes him selfish? Would that make him selfish for him asking Aaron Donald money and not playing to that extent? No, you got to ask for Aaron Donald money, right? Like, remember, it's negotiating, Johnny. You got to go out and you got to say, I want $30 million. I want the Aaron Donald contract, because I believe I'm every bit as good as Aaron Donald. The reality has to come down to the point of it's a negotiation. The Jets should come into the negotiation asking for $20 million a year. Quinnen Williams should come into the negotiation asking for $30 million a year. And this is the part of the negotiation. They need to both be willing to accept $25 million a year. If the Jets come up to 25, but Quinnen Williams is not willing to come off of his number of 30, then Quinnen Williams is being selfish and unreasonable. But I'm never going to call a player for being selfish. You are worth exactly what a team is willing to pay you. So go get yours. Is Dak Prescott worth the contract that the Cowboys gave him? No. Is Kirk Cousins worth the contract that the Minnesota Vikings gave him? No. Is Jimmy Garoppolo worth the contract that the Las Vegas Raiders gave him? No. You go get what you're owed and what you can get in the market. Whether that's an overpay and underpay. Atlanta Falcons overpaid for freaking Calais Campbell. It's going to happen. You're not selfish for doing it, right? They are putting their youth and their bodies on the line for a child's game. So you should get paid a king's ransom to play that child's game, especially when you look at guys like Tua, who are like Tua is going to be a horror story that's going to be used for years against football. Like if it goes the way that we think it's going to go, right? So, boom. On those 500 game consoles. Oh, that's awesome. Alrighty, I'm going to end the stream there. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. It was a surprise stream. Remember, we go live every Friday, 9:30. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button to be notified when it happens. Follow me on Twitter If you want to get into contact with me, it's right there, talkingwithtigo@gmail.com. Hit the sub button on the way out. I greatly appreciate you guys. Guys, if you have any ideas for videos, things that you want me to talk about, deep dives on certain aspects of the salary cap, practice squad, players, whatever it is, let me know. I'm running out of ideas for the offseason. I don't know what to make, and I want to make videos, and I want to talk Jets, and I want to hang out with you guys. I just don't know what to talk about because the season is slowed down. Like, I don't want to keep talking about the Quinnen Williams contract because it's not time to panic yet. I didn't think we should have bring back Quan Alexander, so when that news came out, it wasn't that big of a deal for me. Let me know what you guys want to hear. In the comment section, tweet it at me, DM me. My DMs are open. Let's have a conversation. But other than that, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hitting the like button on the way out. I'm going to go to sleep. Go Jets.